ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, of course, we have discussed a few others there. That is the concern of a typically Sudan case. So, they are actually ongoing coup there in Sudan. So, we have the map was divided in 2010 into two. They have a president over this end, and then they have a president over that end. So, the contract is very weak and is not too strong, and the whole organization failed. You know, these two map, the organization failed, and then the guy who come with the plant is called SPLA, but how they progressed is not safe. They don't have a future as we talk of, and then everyone is at least very aware of that, and then how they organize it is very weak. They did not think of what is coming tomorrow, and what if they did not think even of those coup which has been organized over Sudan and repeatedly for many years and many years. Since edition, if we talk of edition, the summaries of 18-21, you look at those histories, you may find there are many coups there, many coup leaders in Sudan. So how they survive and how they were weakened, those people did not remind themselves, the organizers of the source and the organizers of the north. So in today's refixings, and then of course we refix Equatoria back tradition to Sudan. Equatoria is refixed back to Sudan. How? That is because the ongoing different coup is performed because of the Equatoria is back to Sudan. So the people in Equatoria, the West, better being a Sudanese is more organized than being the ordinary failed coup with the source. So that is the regards one way, and leaving the problems of the Darfur is also giving the problem of the Darfur is the enforcement piece to these two dividers, the north and the south dividers. So that is the regards, and then the refixing sections with this new Sudan policy and new Sudan map regulations. Of course, that is Equatoria is back to Sudan, and then every Sudan goes around, and then everything in the middle that we are neglecting and isolating will be the South Sudan. South Sudan is now in the middle. Everybody is now neglecting. If you look at the Sudan big map, so you may find South Sudan is in the middle, and then Sudan goes alongside with the Equatoria area, Juba. So that is why it goes around, and then South Sudan doesn't have any border now. That is Sudan have the border because they are, that is as the new coup orders is for. We said, myself, I live in Canada, but I'm very broke in Canada. That's why we said Canada is more broke than Africa. Why? So I depend on Africa because I have large families. I have over 40,000 families in Africa. And then if you look here in Canada, they are not my families. Whatever I have 100,000 participants, or 100,000 different people we are happy with, or more than 100,000 around Canada. That is not my family members. We talk of the ancestors. We talk of the origins, my origins as in my blood history members. So they are not a Canadian. That's why it's a God. So if you look there, that is Sudan, the ancestors. Equatoria is the ancestor to Sudan North, and then Sudan North is the ancestor to Equatoria in Juba. And then if you say you're gonna fall here way, you're gonna fall there way. That's why Khartoum feel they are no longer in relationship. They don't have ancestors. the guy there in Khartoum want to cross to Uganda, and then crossing to Uganda make them very difficult for them to cross to Uganda, to cross to Kenya, and then ask for their family members, So it's very hard. So why every of those people leave these areas? They say they are in Equatoria, that's sleeping in the kitchen. The food is prepared in the kitchens. They have ugly kitchens. Why people they chase unrich children? Why they're chasing unrich children to the kitchen and the sleep of the kitchen? Because the child is lazy, the child is not rich enough, and then to give them a skill of working more. Because so easy regards. That's why those children who are sleeping in the kitchen, they're the one who migrated away from their parent hand. Of course, they go to the capital city, Khartoum, and then they're residing there, but their families were in the Equatorial regions. Their family is not sleeping in the kitchen because they are sleeping where in the real house. The food is prepared in the kitchen. The kitchen is dusty with the smoke because it's produced out of grass. So there is no hydro now nothing, and then that is firewood cooking, and then that is chocolate cooking, charcoal cooking. So that is too difficult for them to survive. That's why they are in Khartoum. If they feel what about they feel, they want to come back to Juba and then visit their family member, so that they get recognized. If they still recognized as usually boycotterist or kitchen members, to see their differences. That's why the guy is working there hard to come back to Juba area, to Equatorial regions. So that's why it's a coup, and vis-a-vis is all participated to the weaknesses which has been created by the South Sudanese. Why they created that big weaknesses for every participant, for every kitchen sleepers to participate more than the ordinary professionals who are sleeping in a clean house, and then if it comes to this one, they have to even be the one sitting with the good visitors. The people who normally sleep in the kitchens are the people who are normally isolated because they are weak, they are poor, and then they cannot even speak well maybe with the visitors. Sometimes they do or disorganize the visitors. That's why they have to isolate them like that. No, it's barely different things. That's why if we say it, Canada why is Canada broke? For me, it's Canada broke, and then why Africa is not broke? Because of my parent, that's my ancestors. But if it comes to this migration, because I was sleeping in the kitchen, that's why I migrated to Canada, so that I earned another areas level, and then I built myself a house. If I still feel broke, and then I'm still going back to Africa, and then because I want to see my differences. If my sleeping in the kitchen is more accelerated than the previous one, So that is a big difference. People are searching. So that is the due cases with the Sudan coup. That is according to our investigations, according to our thoroughly different suggestions, management's advice, research, and then you name it, So contributions, So and then vis-a-vis, we talk of different the stagnant waters. Why shall I be restricted? Because we are restricted, normally sometimes restricted because of the stagnant waters. The land our ancestors settled is not very educated, is not very attractive to the visitors who can boost money, and then who can boost also different ideas of developments, and then can leave developments, maybe build a good house, then leave it there for those people to either reuse. This one use, and then get off, they don't come, use, get off, That is irrigate. So that is the stagnant waters, and then how to remove those stagnant waters. That is our solutions. We talk of kokotos, we talk of different scents, we talk of contribution of different termites. We can bring those kind of orders and then pour them around those stagnant water, and then ensure we dry them. Drying them will release some addition, some dryness, so because the waters will no longer remain as an apparatus, so humanity will no longer remain there as an stagnant water to the people, if whatever you drive a vehicle, the vehicle is stuck, whatever you walk over, you stuck, whatever you do, what you stuck, it won't be happening. So there, if we moisture those soils, then of course we will release different more space of constructions where people normally released they feel the balance, treated balance, other than and then it will also force them less traveled, it will stop them less traveled. So people won't be traveled up and down because I sleep, I don't sleep well, the other one sleep well, I don't have a house, the other one has a house. How do I feel? I don't feel good. That's why I feel myself abroad. I feel myself in the capital cities other than in the village with the parents, So that is the deep cases of different issues. But how people normally manage, that is the all individuals' ideas or individual contributions, but it depends and it goes. So those are all heavy things. So what can we do? That is the only solutions there because we have those orders, and then maybe we build some areas, and then we leave those stagnant water underground, running underground smoothly, and then we create some concrete up here, and then we build the homes up, and then creating this one more space for those younger people who are thinking like us. They have to follow us and travel after us. That's why you may find they have to contribute in the wrong way, bringing this one other than pulling the things by computers. If we keep all of them away from using the others, they can no longer know what is happening in the countries, because they want to bring food and distribute to the refugees there, and then also to bring their goods, their retail goods and other things, so that the airline is also functioning, everything is functioning. The problem is, the dilemma is, if Sudan goes around there now today, that is the only coup areas, of course the coup, because they want Sudan to go around. And then these resources should not longer own the border there, let them remain up there. If is again my mentality is gonna bring a dead man alive, like he's gonna wake up John Grank and then gonna begin building his routine of the rebel leadership. And then of course, that is up to you people. You will see from there what is available, how they do it, because that was a coup, right? And then how Equatoria was fighting with the rebels, with the SPLAs. That could be maybe because Equatoria was a developers to help those coup not to remain a coup, not the Khartoum to remain as a prime minister, to remain as a president over that area, because the post of the Khartoum remain the different prime ministers is supposed to remain as a president to that country. So if we open back this border and then we give it back to Sudan as normal, and then of course it creates this roundabout there, and then we keep South Sudan as the setup for that roundabout, and then we leave Equatoria to Sudan, and then everything goes smoothly back. Whatever is going to wake up the rebels, and then they're going to come try to see how the coup between the 1821 and then this is the 2021. So sort it out. That is the AD and BC, all what they call past and present situations. So from your negotiation, from your seeing, from your judgments, from where others you can compare, and then at least feedback them if that could be the resolutions there further to go with. Otherwise, that is just scenarios of this one of giving Equatoria back to Sudan. So on overview, so this is just mandatorily things which we just see is more secure than this one than the regular issues we have. It may solve it more easier. So if it's gonna, if unless these people, the rebel, they feel isolated. If they feel isolated, that could be this one, the whatever that is the French 24 or which other BBC, which other FM groups can put them in the interview in the radio room and then interview them and then see what is available. If that is their problems is they are getting isolated, they feel they are isolated, they want this big. That is not it. Is the what about this one? What about it? Putting the peace of mind. We feel them recognize it, but they still as their portional part of the areas. That is a vis-a-vis according to our futures judgments, according to our visions, versions, productions, and then the project limits. That is a peace of mind. Otherwise, that is me, why Hassan, that is it all.